Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for Doom Patrol, Season 2, Episode 8, Dad Patrol. Welcome, everybody. Before I get started, I'm going to take care of a little bit of business. Get started there. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, there's going to be a video that pops up at the very end here. If you like what you see in that video, hit the subscribe button down there. Basically, what YouTube does takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching, tries to match it as best as possible. One of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up there just for you. And if you like that, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you can hit the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing I do is go to suspendedfanimation.com where I have the schedule up. I change it out every week. I also post that up on my Facebook page. And on suspendedfanimation.com, you can find the links to all my social media. So that's Twitter, Instagram, Patreon page. No tiers that reside in the Patreon page. Wait until I hit 1,000 subs. And then I want to give you something if you're going to give me money, that kind of thing. And there's also the link to my Facebook page on there and a Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. There we go. So let's get into it. Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you've not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. All right. So what do you think about that episode? Damn good. So we had 4 different views of fatherhood and a little bit of a not so murder mystery that was happening as well in this kind of tiny bit shoehorned in there. And yeah, we got from a very horrible fucking father, which was Kay's father. We got to see what created Kay, and we also finally got a timeline for Kay. And I thought it was early 1900s that she first started, but it was actually 1954 when she was a child. And yeah, in Arkansas, and he's putting her in a well. That's what the well comes from, and that whole thing was just fucked up, completely fucked up. And then, of course, we have a little bit of Larry's situation, which we've already gone into quite a bit. So we get a little bit more from Larry just on his interaction with Paul, that he wasn't a total fucking asshole to his kids. He actually interacted with his kids a bit. And that's why Paul loved him and was trying to find him all these years, and finally ended up committing suicide because he just couldn't live with that whole thing. And then, of course, you have Cliff. Cliff is dealing with Claire now, who's pregnant, and his whole thing of where he never really got to be a father because, well, one, he was too fucking self-absorbed, but now he's kind of uber father at this point, and trying to make up for lost time, and some really good stuff on this. And then, of course, you have Niles Calder, who is locked away his daughter for most of her life to protect her and the world from her, and her from the world. But now she's growing up. She is becoming a woman, and we're finding out that her becoming a woman is literally the end of the world. Uh, Not just because daddy thinks so, but because of what's happening. And yes, Niles does suck. He is, he's made a deal with Willoughby. Willoughby is going to most likely kill Dorothy before she brings about the end of the world. But Dorothy goes through her period. And honestly, this scene of her, um, having her first period, not knowing what's going on, and in the bathroom with the gas station attendant is both fucking tragic, and you just see her kind of grow up at the same time, and you see that whole like loss of innocence, the last little vestige of innocence that happens. And really really good acting on Abigail Shapiro's part, and good writing, of course, on the writer's room part too. And I love how Willoughby finds out that the world is ending from Bunbury. I mean, that I want a little bit more of what the fuck was going on with Willoughby on that stuff, with the whole pentagram, them wearing the hoods with the swords, around the table with this rabbit that can talk. So, yeah, but yeah, some very, very interesting shit that was going down in this whole episode. And of course, Candlemaker making himself known that he is actually breaking out. And Dorothy seeing her mother, her dead mother, of course, saying that, it's time. She's becoming a woman. And or she's become a woman now at this point, and she's bringing about the end of the world. And Candlemaker at the very end there, of course, being unleashed upon the populace, and Willoughby just going, "Okay, we're fucking late at this point." But let's go back to Jane too. Jane's stuff. What's going on with Jane is she decides Kay wants her rabbit that fell in the well, Harry, and she decides that she is going to be the only one that can go and get it because she's afraid of disappearing. She's afraid of she always thought she was indispensable, but she's afraid of disappearing, so she's trying to prove her self-worth. And she takes Larry with her, goes to the well in Arkansas, goes in there and finds Harry inside a little underneath a stone inside the well, and finds that the Miranda had concocted this thing the entire time, and basically left a note for her father, basically saying that she's strong enough, she will kill him, kind of thing. I wouldn't put it past her of Miranda having killed Kay's father at this point, because Miranda is now killing off the personalities within Kay, and I don't know what her end game is on this. If she is trying to kill off everybody, including Kay, so that she becomes the only personality, or what's going on. But maybe that's the whole thing, is that Miranda has finally said, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to be the one that actually survives. I'm going to be the only personality. And she is killing everybody off one by one in, until she gets to Kay. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Same thing. Viking Bitch, I just saw your comment. Yeah, that Miranda is bumping off the others until she's the last one standing. I think she's actually going to go after Kay as well. That's the reason why she threw the rabbit back down the well, is because she doesn't want Kay getting any confidence. She doesn't want Kay being able to stand up against her, even though Kay is the original personality, which is pretty fucked up. I mean, yeah. And Larry having to deal with what the hell the entity wants, because the entity keeps digging up old wounds of, his past, and actually went through the whole box that his son had left for him, that Gary had left for him. And he finds a tape recording of him and Paul. And he's like, "What the hell do you want? Try and communicate with me. I'm trying to piece together what it is that you want, but I don't know what the hell it is you want. I'm trying to move on, like Moscow said, but you keep holding me back. Why is this?" You know? Yeah, we don't know if Miranda has any superpowers at the moment. All we know is that we don't even know if this is really Miranda either, for that matter. It could be her dad. I keep thinking it's her dad, but I don't know. Yeah, Larry really does need to connect to his spirit. He really does need to connect to the negative entity. He really does. Man. As Moscow says, if he connects to it, he will heal, just like she did. So, yeah. Yeah, but Cliff's was the most hopeful thing out of all of this too. I mean, you know, his joy at finding out that Claire's getting married. She's getting married to her girlfriend, which is great. And he gets invited to the wedding. It's last minute, but yeah, he's getting invited to the wedding. And he's in total dad mode at this point, which is awesome. I mean, um, it's nice seeing Cliff happy for a change instead of pretty much being shit upon the entire time in this series. And yeah. And I agree with you, Viking Mitch. Yeah, this show better get a season 3, because we only have one episode left after this. One episode, because the season 10 had to be cut short because of COVID, and they weren't able to film all of it. Uh, yeah, the It's a Boy thing when he just goes nuts and scares the hell out of Claire. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop on Claire. I really am. I really am waiting for the other shoe to drop. There's something that's going to happen because it's Cliff, and there's something bad that's going to happen. And um, yeah, I agree with you, Mufinobi. She hasn't heard his voicemail yet. But at the same time, I think there's something up with Claire. I don't know what it is. And there's always something that the writers are going to throw at us here. And fuck, I don't know. I don't know what it is. And it's going to be painful. And we'll go back into Cyborg's little thing where Ronnie has taken the Uma jelly and has killed a tycoon, if you will. Basically, one of the guys that hurt her, who was responsible for her being augmented. So she took the Uma jelly. She's no longer dying. We find this out. She killed the guy. Um, Cyborg is tracking her down. He does, and she admits to it. She's like, "Yeah, I killed him because of what he did to me." And she goes to walk out, and he grabs her, and she's like, "No." And she, instead of calling him Vic, she calls him Cyborg at this point because their relationship is done. And she just punches him across the room. And she starts punching him, and out comes the gun. His gun, sonic gun, comes out. And as she's getting ready to walk away, Rita, who has her newfound superhero identity, if you will, the beekeeper, balks at what's going on, and just lets Ronnie pass right by her. Yeah, it was some, you know, she failed at that, is what she did. And yeah, there's more stuff that Rita has to go through, I think, unfortunately, in order to become who she needs to be. She becomes elasti-girl eventually here. But yeah, it's a good episode, man. I mean, really good episode. And Niles, of course, is dying too. So we've got him coughing up blood and just coughing up a storm. And Willoughby just pretty much leaves him on the ground and says, "Fuck you. I'm going to go and kill your daughter." Well, we should have killed her, is what he said earlier, but now it's too late. Yeah. Yeah, we're not going to get any more Alan Tudyk. As Beard Hunter said in the last episode, he got another gig doing some animated bullshit. And that's why we won't see him. Unfortunately, I would have loved to have seen more Alan Tudyk as Mr. Nobody, but yeah, we're not going to see that. Yeah, but good episode. I saw the preview for next week, and next week it looks like we get Dorothy's other imaginary friends that are trying to get the rest of the Doom Patrol together to help them and help Dorothy at this point. Because who's better to fight against the Candlemaker than other imaginary characters, right? Yeah. Yes. I don't know if you saw that Viking bitch last week when they were talking about the whole him going off to do some crappy animated show, and then they said Harley Quinn at the bottom there. They actually promoted the animated Harley Quinn on DC Universe, which made me fucking laugh. I actually had to roll it back a couple times. I'm like, they did not. I'm like, yeah, they did. And yeah, that was actually really, really good. Buggin', it's time. It's time for what? That spider reminds me of Danny DeVito. Yeah, he definitely takes his voice cues from Danny DeVito. He really does. Oh, good episode. But again, this season's been nothing but spectacular. I can't think of one episode that's been a letdown. And yes, we only have 9 episodes this season, but still, I would take these 9 episodes and put it up against any 9 episodes of any other show on TV and show you this is the way it should be done versus any other show that's on TV right now. because the writing's great, the acting's great, um, the artwork, the set design, everything is fucking spot on. It really is. And this is something that and it's nothing that you've ever seen before either, which is awesome. It's very comic booky as well, which doesn't hurt it in the least. And honestly, this should be celebrated as what it is. And it definitely, like you said, Viking Bitch, it needs a season three. If this doesn't get a season three, fuck HBO Max, fuck AT&T. They don't know what the fuck they're sitting on. They really don't. The 10th episode is a total letdown, Philip. Yeah. You've been to the future. You've seen it already. Mhm. I'm sure we'll get that. If we get a season three, I'm sure episode 10 will be episode one of season three. Kind of like what they did with Titans. Titans season two, episode one was actually the final episode of season. Excuse me. The first episode of season two was actually the final episode of season one. And that was Akiva Goldsman's bullshit stuff. And you could tell it just was horrible. And then see episode two started with a completely different tone. And you're like, what did this what happened here? And of course it all went downhill from there. So yeah. Yes, this is one of the best TV shows on right now. And because it's so good, most likely we're not getting any more. Uh I'm just resigned to that fact that anytime there's something good, especially on AT&T, Warner Brothers, HBO, DC Universe, whatever, it gets canceled. Swamp Thing, you know, just saying. Constantine, yeah, they really just don't know what the hell they have. And then Titans keeps going. God, Titans just fucking keeps going. I don't know why. I really don't know why. Maybe it's because of all the dick jokes that everyone gets to make. I mean, there's a lot of dick jokes in Titans, but anyway. You know, I was just thinking about we need masks. We need Doom Patrol masks is what we need for pandemic. I would love to have a Robot Man mask, or you know, I would love to have a Negative Man mask, something like that. You can have a Rita one where it looks like it's dripping. You know, I don't know what you do for Crazy Jane. You can have a Cyborg one. You know, that'd be kind of awesome. Anyway, what else do I have going on this week? Tomorrow I'm off. Tomorrow is Friday and I'm off. Saturday is Saturday morning blast off where I take the genre news of the week and any of the genre stuff you guys want to talk about, and we talk about it. Sunday I'm off. Monday is Stargirl. It's the penultimate episode of Stargirl. Tuesday is It Worth My Time? And that's going to be the Umbrella Academy season 2, because Umbrella Academy drops tomorrow, boys and girls. That's right, on Netflix. It does. Oh yes, we need the butthole mask, definitely. God, we need. How did I forget about the butthole mask? Jesus. Wednesday, of course, I'm off, and then of course Thursday we roll back around to the season finale of Doom Patrol. Had to get the little logo in there, Doom Patrol. Yeah, I need to do something about that glare right there. It's a sunlight. Even with the blinds, it's not really working all that well. It lights me very nicely, but then again, I always get lit very nicely because I know my lighting. I know my overhead lights and my frontal lights and all that kind of shit. I took film class. I know how to do that kind of stuff. Anyway, thank you everybody who joined me today in the chat, or tonight in the chat. Thank you if you made it this far in the video. And if you like what you see, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video. Pops up here at the very end. And if you like what you see there, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you get the bell down below there. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com, where you'll see the schedule up there and all the links to my social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon. So until Saturday, I'm going to let you guys go. And have a good rest of your night. Have a good tomorrow. And I'll see you on Saturday. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may realize that becoming a woman means that you're bringing about the end of the world. I guess that's what we're getting from these writers. Oh, sorry. That just it really does sound funny when you think about it. But I'll let you guys go for the night. Thank you. I will see you on Saturday. Have a good night. Take care, be well, and stay safe. Good night, everyone.